Welcome to Imagine Me Beyond What You See, a body image art exhibition sponsored by the International Association of Eating Disorders Professionals. We present this to you as an eating disorders educational awareness project. This body image mannequin art competition was created in 2009. It was designed to promote healthy awareness and acceptance of body images. The use of mannequins provided a unique palette from which to explore feelings and express creativity. The mannequin that you see was created by a high school junior. IADEP invited the following year national and international art therapists from treatment centers and private practice, students, and the public to create mannequins that reflected their perception of beauty and body image. We hope that you enjoy the exhibition. In 2010, we received 9 very unique entries. They represented high school and college students, art students, treatment center residents, private practice patients, and a college professor. Many of the artists are presently in therapy or in recovery from their eating disorder, which provided a unique and authentic perspective on beauty, body image, and how their artistic expression became a powerfully therapeutic experience. Each piece shares a glimpse into who the artist is and what their mannequin artwork represents. Our first 2010 entry is from Sophie Wolf. She's a senior in high school in Virginia Beach and planning to attend Tufts University next fall. She says, since I finished my second course of treatment at the Eating Recovery Center last August, I have spent countless hours working on this piece, and it has been a wonderful part of my recovery. She describes her piece called Balance as, my goal was to create a balance between love and appreciation for the body, as well as acceptance of all emotions, good and bad, towards the body. On the front, the letters ACCEPT, A-C-C-E-P-T, are incorporated into the design. On the back, the letters L-O-V-E, love, surround the butterfly. Again, this piece is called Balance by Sophie Wolf. Our second entry is called Hear Me, Please by Sarah Birchfield. Sarah was in intensive treatment from 2006 to 2008 at Shoreline Center in Long Beach, California. She says she continues to see her therapist weekly. I would have never imagined the healing that I have come to experience. My recovery has been a grueling journey, but worth every single step. I am grateful for my health, for peace, and laughter. She describes Hear Me Please as, the mannequin I created is primarily made up of torn out journal pages from years stolen by my eating disorder. The inner layers are cutouts of children. A photo of me as a child is there as well. Originally, I wanted to depict my inner child beneath all the self-abuse that was aching to be set free. But as I began to collage the pieces, I realized that it also needed to represent the little girl that was wounded and hurt. I added pearls, a lace skirt, and ribbon as symbolic of trying to hide the deep pain and shame of an eating disorder. Again, our entry number 2, Hear Me Please by Sarah Birchfield. Our third entry is called Erosion by Rebecca Tishman. Rebecca is an interdisciplinary sculpture major at the Maryland Institute College of Art. She says it was not until I started focusing on the link between my recovery from an eating disorder and my artwork that I started to flourish in both fields. Embracing the symbiotic relationship between the two has been an interesting and bumpy road for me to venture down. When she describes her mannequin Erosion, She says, I have heard it's not about the food a countless number of times at this point in my recovery. There is so much beyond the food, but for years I refused to acknowledge the pain that I masked by not eating or by purging. In an attempt to show that to the world through my art, I made the outside layer of the female form out of silverware, which simultaneously hides the female form beneath it and draws attention to the outward appearance of the female. Our entry number 3, erosion. Our fourth entry is called Scapegoat Beauty by Haley Espell. Haley is a 23-year-old woman in recovery from an eating disorder after struggling for 10 years. She says, before recovery, I thought that my eating disorder would be a reality for the rest of my life. Now I live a life of fullness, authenticity, and peace of mind that I didn't know was possible for anyone, let alone myself. I created this mannequin artwork last summer, shortly after being discharged from a transformative residential treatment stay. My therapist later suggested I submit it to the competition. I was unaware that the art competition existed when I made it. The art served as an outlet for my frustration at how our culture teaches us that our bodies are the thing that is wrong with us. The message is that if we perfect our bodies, we will find happiness. My recovery has been about building a relationship with my body. I listen to it, give it what it needs, and send it gratitude for serving me. What matters is not my body's appearance, but how it feels and how it helps me live my life. When Haley describes her artwork, Scapegoat Beauty, she says, my artwork is a representation of the female struggle with body image and self-acceptance. My journey through illness and recovery from my eating disorder has led to question the ways in which we are taught to alter our bodies. We use makeup, accessories, and even such extremes as diet pills and cleanses, anti-wrinkle formulas, etc. We are bombarded with images of the ideal body and ways to achieve it from an early age, and we are rarely taught to appreciate our bodies for what they do for us. The body often becomes a scapegoat for underlying emotional issues. The outside of my mannequin is covered with images from popular magazines, images that encourage women to alter their bodies. On the outside, I wrote different underlying issues that these alterations perhaps might be covering up. As for a description of the last image I sent in, that is the back side of the mannequin that I used. It is concave, so that's why it might be hard to see. I chose the following words: fear, insecurity, violation, judgment, never good enough, uncertainty, broken heart, peer pressure, anxiety, etc., which I believe are common issues for women with eating disorders like myself and others I've met in treatment. I feel that the body becomes the scapegoat target through dieting, restriction, binge, purge, etc. for these issues. In my own illness, I sought to eliminate emotional pain and discomfort using my appetite and my body as a scapegoat for what was really going on underneath. In addition, I believe our culture also feeds into this assumption that altering the external body will lead to internal happiness or success in life, which is why I think the media images on the mannequin relate to the words on the inside. Scapegoat Beauty by Haley Espell. Our fifth entry is called In Full Bloom by the Magnolia Creek Center residents. Spring Olson, the art therapist, along with Casey Palmer, the staff counselor, says, the front of the mannequin shows flowers in full bloom, representing full potential and the beauty of recovery. This is in contrast to the back where there are buds waiting to bloom but needing nourishment. Each side transitions from the buds to the blossoms. In art group, themes were discussed. In discussion, the desire to someday reach full potential and to recover was expressed. One artiste volunteered to do the painting, and the group agreed. Her treatment ended before the mannequin could be completed. A second artiste stepped in and finished the artwork. As the artist worked, the group made suggestions and shared their ideas. In Full Bloom by Magnolia Creek Center residents. Our sixth entry is called I Am a Soul with a Body by the Eating Recovery Center residents, under the direction of Lisa Talushi, the art therapist. She writes, the project began with a group encountering the mannequin whose form appeared all too thin. So the first 4 to 5 hours were spent restoring the form using layers of tissue paper and glue applied to the collarbones, waist, and legs. This process mirrored the time and patience that it takes to restore one's own mind and body. The group generated a list of ideas, symbols, and thoughts of the inner self and who we are internally beyond our physical form. Each time the group met, an evolving constellation of people worked on the symbols and moved the creative process to the next step. At the center of the form reads a quote by Wayne Dyer, "Begin to see yourself as a soul with a body, rather than a body with a soul." There are multiple symbolisms in our piece. On the face is the phoenix, rising from the ashes, empowered. The head wreath symbolizes growth and wholeness. Her right arm is a thunderstorm that she has endured. On her right wrist is a chain that she has freed herself from, and she is holding an open lock. The right arm is a warm, life-affirming energy, and she is wearing a prayer bracelet. Her heart is filled with passion as well as pain, to feel a whole spectrum of emotions. On her right chest is a symbol of inner peace. She is wearing a key around her neck, which is connected to the butterfly on her throat, which symbolizes freedom to use her voice. On her torso is the sun, symbol of life, and in the center is written, "Begin to see yourself as a soul with a body rather than a body with a soul." She is covered with butterflies and flowers to acknowledge her inner beauty and connection to nature and the universe. Her feet are roots and legs are vines, grounding her in the earth. She has berries and flowers and leaves growing up her legs. On her back is a musical staff placed on her lungs to symbolize using her voice in a multitude of ways and situations. It was truly a pleasure to participate in this project. It gave so many different people, women and men, the opportunity to create and become a part of something bigger than themselves while symbolizing something intimate about their recovery process. The very process of working together and being together was healing and life-affirming for all participants. They felt tremendous value in being part of the whole. I Am a Soul with a Body by the Eating Recovery Center residents. Our seventh entry is called Womannequins by the Timberland Knolls residents, under the direction of Ray Fleage, the art therapist. These mannequins were part of a journal, artist, book, art therapy group, and allowed the artist to explore the idea of telling one's story on an alternative canvas space. Making art on a form as familiar as the human body allowed the artist to experience compassion for their own bodies, reclaiming their bodies as worthy and strong. This is a collaborative effort to creatively raise our voices and make a mark. We are women walking through life, choosing to face our demons and take responsibility for a brighter, healthier tomorrow. Womannequins by Timberland Knolls residents. Our eighth entry is called Words and Windows of Wisdom by Dr. Susan Mendelson's Eating Disorder Therapy Group. The mannequins are described as two partial mannequins were papier-mâchéd and painted in tie-dyed colors, representing how colorful we all are. Characteristics of self were painted onto plastic bulbs to describe what's really beyond what you see. Holes were drilled into the mannequins to make room for the bulb, showing different characteristics as you see through the mannequins. Words and Windows of Wisdom by Dr. Susan Mendelson's Eating Disorder Therapy Group. Our ninth entry, Into the Sun by Sandra Holloway. Dr. Holloway currently teaches psychology classes at a local university in the Philadelphia area. Her special interest is in children on the autistic spectrum. She was born in South Africa, where experiences made coping a high priority that forced creativity and passion deep within her. Through her art, Sandra has rediscovered these hidden strengths. The mannequin, named Manny Me, is a concrete representation of all that was once lost, now brought out into the sun. Manny Me's bold shapes and bright colors show the strength of her resilience and life force. The tree symbolizes life, and her artistic dance outfit portrays another strength, her playfulness. Manny Me languishes in a tree reading. The back of her book reads, "The journey to healing is long and hard, but with what other journey do you reach into the darkness of shattered hearts and return with golden sunlight, earth's riches, and a spectrum of feelings?" Into the Sun by Sandra Holloway. You can see hidden in the words, "Imagine me beyond what you see," the words, "I'm in me." You are more than what people see, more than what people think. But on second thought, who cares? You are worthy without the validation of anyone else. You are amazing simply because you exist. You matter. Your thoughts, hopes, and dreams matter. If only the rest of the world could imagine me beyond what you see. What a wonderful world it could be. I'll start with me.